Hi, this is Shanker, and a very discussed transit today is the conjunction of Mars and Rahu, along with the opposition of Saturn, and it's a transit which is being discussed. Mars and Rahu in Gemini, and Saturn and Ketu in Sagittarius, and a lot of dread is being put into people's mind that this transit is going to be very bad because there is a Mars Rahu conjunction and there is a Saturn Ketu conjunction. But let's understand where the planets are. What is important is you have to see the Kal Purush is very important. So in the Kal Purush, Mars and Rahu are in Gemini. So first, let's understand how is relationship between Mars and Mercury. The relationship of Mars and Mercury is not very good. Mercury is the owner of the house. Mercury house makes Mars to be very mathematical, logical, communicative. So all the aggression which will come because of Mars being in the sign of Gemini will be controlled by Mercury, and it will be with respect to communication. That is the what Gemini means. It is the third Kalpurush house for in the horoscope, in any horoscope. So it would mean that you can have some kind of an aggressive discussion with your relatives, with your friends, with your siblings. Your communication would be very aggressive with them. You could have some arguments with them, some discussions with them, etc. Things to that effect can happen. Rahu is a planet which amplifies. So those could be, a little the voice, the decibel level, the way you talk, etc. could be, little more modulated. The tone and tenor will be different while doing these discussions. So this will happen. Now, it is aspected by Saturn. Now, what is Saturn? Saturn is with Ketu. What is Ketu? Ketu is again a very spiritual planet which pulls a person down, which pulls you down, which also after a certain stage not only pulls you down, but also makes you a dhwaj. Wherever Ketu is associated, it's a planet of delay, no doubt about it. But it also is a planet which is like a flag. It flies on your chariot. It is also a planet which goes deep. Makes you to think and go deep into it. So this, when Ketu is with Saturn here in the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius itself is a sign which is a sign of perfection, where a person you thinks and acts. The person has an aim. The person has a purpose. The person has a target where he wants to shoot. So when Saturn and Ketu is in Sagittarius, then it implies that there is a wise old man. Saturn is a wise old man. It is with Ketu, which makes it more wiser, which makes it more a person which thinks more. So Saturn is a wise man with Ketu, and it aspects your Mars and Rahu. So actually, the aggression which is depicted by Mars and Rahu is controlled to some extent by Saturn. So it pulls it down. So that is what is important. The house of the house of ninth is for your fortune, for your guru, for your parents. And in those areas, you could have some kind of a down kind of a thing where things may not go well. You will be a little down. You will be depressed in those areas. There will be some delays. There will be some frustration, or success would come after delay and frustration. So this would happen when you're in Sagittarius. But the aspect of Shani and Ketu on Mangal and Rahu actually, in my if you believe me and the way I do astrology, is a wise old man looks at the Mars and Rahu combination and makes it better off, makes it wiser, pulls it back. Mars and Rahu, on the other hand, in case of your own self and strategy, that is, owns the first and eighth house in the Kalpurush, and when Mars is with Rahu, it actually makes you a person who's more aggressive, who wants to do things fast, who wants to go ahead, jump, take a risk, I mean, today's world, that is very positive. So if you have dashas supporting you, if you have other things supporting you, you could be very well successful. It makes you think out of the box. It makes you think differently. Rahu is a planet which makes you think out of the box, makes you think very differently. So these 45 days also, you would see people who, who act, who will be aggressive, who would think out of the box, who would do things which are which basically may not be associated normally with their government. Now, if the things are positive, it will lead to positive decisions. If a person is negative and he has positive energy pushing the negative thoughts, it could be destructive, and it's more applicable in case of mundane astrology. It is also the ruler of the house of eighth house, which is fear, anxiety on one hand. It is also the house of structured financing. It is also the house of black money. It is also the house of occult. So also those things would get a push as far as you are concerned. And remember, because Saturn and Ketu are there, it will give a little focus in the right direction, will make a person think about it. Saturn and Ketu, on the other hand, it in your profession and in your gains, there would be there would be a pullback. There would be a time when you would be thinking what to do. You would not get as much gain, as much which is proportional to the work you've done. So this could be a standard thing, which could operate in a large number of people with this thing. Mars now aspects Saturn. What happens whenever I've seen, even it's a thumb rule that even in your natal horoscope, whenever Saturn will transit over Mars, or Saturn and Mars have a relationship, mutual relationship between each other, that is opposition, or Saturn excites Mars or Mars excites Saturn, it will give you a push in your job. It could give a promotion. It could give you an increase. Here also there would be a tussle between your profession. You start working towards getting a change, getting a promotion, or you may actually get it. On the other hand, Saturn and Mars is also a place where you could, where you develop a negative thought about somebody, about people, and you may just walk out, because during this transit, if you're going to have negative thoughts, have a fight with somebody, you would just walk away from that person. You may just say, okay, it's done. I don't want to deal with him. And you may just not even look back. So this could be a psychological, it could be a thing which could be happening to you. So this is how you have to analyze this conjunction. It's a good conjunction. It's a conjunction where it's an opposition as well as a conjunction where you have to stop, think, and act. It could be good for you. If you have got negative energies, it could make you do things which are not in the right direction. Also, apart from Kalpurush, take your house into consideration. Like if you're Gemini, it will be a 1-7. If you're Gemini ascendant, it will be 1-7. If you're Cancer ascendant, the axis will be 6 and 12. So issues of 6 and 12 would happen. Now 6 and 12, or like if you're a Cancer ascendant, it would be this Gemini would be 12th house, and Virgo would be, and Gemini would be your 12th house, Sagittarius would be your 6th house. So it's not necessarily to be bad. You may do expense, but the expense could be in terms of investments. You may go abroad. You may start dealing with people who are in foreign countries. You could aggressively make a strategy. There could be an increase in your bed pleasure. You could get into a relationship. So good or bad would again depend on so many other things. So this would be the Shanu Ketu in your 6th house. Obviously, Shani in 6th is good in a lot of ways, that you may be able to clear your debts. You may, in your service, it could be good, but it may not be good for businessmen, because Shani Ketu in 6th leads to taking more money, taking more debts, and but litigation, etc., can happen. So you have to also see the axis depending on your ascendant and come to a conclusion, while not forgetting what this opposition between the Rahu Ketu axis means. It is not to be dreaded. It is going to be good for Leo. It is going to be excellent, because all the malefics come in your 11th house. So that is how you have to look into it and then analyze it and then come to a conclusion. So all this which is happening in terms of everybody debunking it and saying it's a deadly thing and you have to be very careful for the next 45 days, I do not agree. So this is Shanker signing out. You can write to me at connectingminds@gmail.com. My site is shankerstudy.com. You can go there. I have a channel on which I'm going live, And you have all my videos on a lot of other videos on connectingminds.org. So I look forward for any questions, any queries, any feedback. Thanks and bye for now.